Blessed day, soul family. Welcome back. Martial Mystic 2026 calendar series. It's Resolution Thursday. What have we got for you today? Well, hope you're doing well out there. We are using the opportunity that we have while we have a civil society. We want to use the opportunity that we have uh, to reflect, to learn, and to improve. So today, Resolution Thursday, we're looking at the fight of no fight, the enemy of no enemy. And how do we get to this? Um, where does this come from? And how can this help us in our everyday lives? So, if you've been following the series on Resolution Thursday, we usually talk about the the constructs that we usually have and usually employ to mitigate conflict, disputes, and for the most part, we try to lean on the ancient knowledge and wisdom of those that have come before us, specifically within the realm of Taiji Chuan and the philosophy of the Taoists, monks in following the Tao and the way of nature. And I want to share with you today a essay that I wrote, and I'll put the link below, about the fight of no fight. We have to keep in mind that Tai Chi Chuan is a martial art. And on the surface, martial arts looks like fighting, looks like violence, but need to remember that Chinese martial arts, wushu, translated as to stop the weapon, originated from the monasteries within the realm of dual cultivation, suang shou, okay? Cultivating spiritual body alongside the physical body in the self-defense. And we've talked about that a couple of times before. We're going to extrapolate on that with this concept of the fight of no fight. We're taking the March 24th quote in the Taiji calendar series, so we'll come back to this. And this is an excerpt of from my teacher's book about Taiji Chuan theory. In the practice of Taiji Chuan, you must reach a stage where there is no discrimination of the opponent. The opponent is you. Like I said, there's a link below that you'll find to this essay about the fight of no fight. So um, we'll go through it here, though, together. Feel free to pull it up. So where do we begin? Well, this passage is taken from the Teddy Tran book by my teacher, Dr. Yang. And it continues to say that the opponent is you and you are the opponent. Both are one. How do we wrap our heads around that? There's this reoccurring phrase in Qigong when we are describing the intermakings of the energetic and the physical bodies. Oftentimes, within the uh, mystical nature of Qigong and the yin dimension and the yang dimension, and the upper Dantian energetic center, lower Dantian physical center, Dr. Yang asks, is it two? No, it's one. Is it one? No, it's two. And it usually gets a laugh in the lecture because we have to submit to the gray area and the unknown and wait for the situation and the context so that we can apply the theory. We almost have to wait for the context and the situation to arise so that we can apply the theory. Henceforth, the context of war and applying this concept of fight, of no fight, the enemy of no enemy. And it feels like, we're looking left and we're looking right and then getting stuck in the middle. If it were black and white, it'd be simple. If it were just one or just two, it would be simple. But as if you heard the story that Dr. Yong tells from his White Crane master, when man and woman come together, one plus one doesn't always equal two. It can equal many things. So things aren't always so simple. And if someone is trying to make you choose a side, then there is something wrong and you need to uh, become highly conscious and aware. If someone's trying to make you choose a side, that is your signal to become highly aware and highly discerning. It's hard enough to harmonize the brain and the body alone, our upper energy center and lower energy center, and the middle energy center. It's hard enough to harmonize the small universe, right? We can often feel like we're in self conflict. We're in a fight with ourselves, especially if you're trying to rid oneself of habituation, of unwanted habits, or trying to build habituation, building desired habits. So oftentimes, are we two or are we one? So the this point to this points to the opportunity when the other comes into play, and the opportunity where we point to the partner and the partner work founded upon the solo work of Tai Chi Chuan. In the solo work, we aim to harmonize two. In the partner work, we aim to harmonize as one. Now, from here, we could go into many contexts. We could talk about intimate partnerships, friends, family, coworkers. That's the thing about the principles and the theory, and why Tai Chi Chuan has probably stood the test of time, and the Taoist philosophy and the Buddhist framework as well within Qigong practice and principle has stood the test of time. We are all one, a lot of people may say, right? Yet it begs the question, how does one figure? Well, there's a lot of naysayers. And while I feel this oneness, I also feel the naysayers that say, to get your heads out of the clouds. Get grounded and practical and real, because the world, this is the nature of the real world. It's not uh, the I forget the name of the word. Someone will correct me. Where everything is peaceful and all are living in kumbaya. Someone once told me that it's not a. Gosh, can't remember the word, but it'll come to me. So, question. Here actually. So we see the Taiji practice. It calls us to get out of our heads and to move our bodies. Right. Today's quote comes from the theory of reaching enlightenment and is translated by Dr. Yong to achieve fighting with enlightenment. And there are four prerequisites, right? Listening, following, attaching, and adhering. All skills, prerequisites for Tai Chi Chuan training. In these Tai Chi drills, what's different from other martial arts that can lead to this notion of enlightenment in fighting? Where do we begin? What is martial arts? What is the goal? Which is the best art? Why move slowly, practice slowly? How do you build a sense of enemy and an opponent? Because in the self-defense context, you have to cultivate split-second reaction without thinking if you're fighting for your survival or for your family's survival. So in my limited experience, I can say there have been some instances where there is a presence. Sometimes something begins to come alive in awareness in wake and awakens when two can seemingly begin to move as one. Alignment, a notion of enlightenment. When you follow these steps of listening, following, adhering, and attaching, and make it a moving meditation, closing the eyes, there's a sense of self that begins to blur. And we talked about this um, within the framework of Dr. Dan Siegel's work, where the mind's not limited to just the skull, and the self isn't limited to just the skin. So I should note, it's not just Tai Chi training that can facilitate this. There's those that can access this state, and there are other activities to create the same conditions for enlightenment, sense of oneness, peace, connection to all, interconnectedness, like Thich Nhat Hanh. Tai Chi Chuan is rooted in martial arts, so it falls in that category. And people find it troublesome. There's a question, what is the most efficient combative art? Why does this art talk about enlightenment, harmonizing, or listening? When you're in a battle, in the battlefield, why do you need to listen? You've transcended the diplomacy or the negotiation talks, right? But listening, and if you've studied Tai Chi Chuan, and if you're a contemplative, you understand that there's a deeper definition of listening. So I doubled down on Tai Chi Chuan conceptually. Physically, I want my techniques from other arts to flow smoothly like Tai Chi Chuan practice. But more importantly, I want to take the time and the methodical approach to issuing out techniques and actions that may be perceived as violence. I need that self-reflection. If I need to act in a martial way, whether it's through the word or the body, I need to be clear and completely aware of my actions and any repercussions. One time I asked my teacher, do I have to fight? Is this a situation where I have to fight? And oftentimes we if we have the capacity to pause and reflect, we are in consideration of our options and this the concept and idea of what it looks like to fight. So his answer to me was, when you don't fight, your spirit grows. So now we have to weigh our options to fight and procure whatever sense of reality we want, or a sense of spiritual cultivation. I see many who throw their words around with seemingly hurtful or violent intentions. And this is disheartening because I see the same energy and intention in the word, identical to the misguided fist that we may be training for. In the word space, how does one neutralize and redirect? This has been the realm of my study for the past 7, 8 years. The neutralization and the exchange of ideas and words and concepts to find harmony so that we can live together, coexist. These days, many uh, seem to go tit for tat. it seems like we all accept it, as well. It's modeled in movies, shows, news, and politics. The perpetuation of this dualistic framework in the world, us versus them, right and wrong, win and lose. Is this the enlightenment spoken of? Is Tai Chi like an old redwood tree, thousands of years old, who has bared witness to countless bloodshed? So, this is my desire for this series. I wish for others to see the seed of hope that I see in Tai Chi, which calls us to listen, follow, and seek understanding and harmonize to bring two back to one. I wish for others to awaken to the vision of Tai Chi, especially as an art with such a history and a tenure compared to other systems that we look to for guidance. Our world is plagued with discrimination, and Tai Chi calls us to see beyond it. This killing art, so to speak, suggests that your opponent is you. We must remember that it's a practice. There are levels that are revealed to us after hours of practice, contemplation, and skillful meditation and skillful gong fu. I remind myself that when I stagnate, yin and yang seem like two. But when meditative flow can emerge, then the yin and yang can harmonize and seem like one. And this helps me to keep moving and understand that I can always improve myself if I continue moving forward with skillful improvement. It's me striving to harmonize with my worst enemy, me. And there are times when two become one, yet mostly they are two. I'm still searching, and maybe it's okay to live in the gray zone. This pursuit has brought me to the study of nonviolent communication, the deep dive into mediation, and also yin yang tai chi. Yin yang tai chi, solo movements and partner movements. So I think it was on Mental Health Monday, I proposed the concept. If there's a bottom up approach to mental health and mental well being, when it comes to the fight of no fight, two as one, can the yin yang movement, can pushing hands movements and exchange teach the nervous system, teach the two minds to move as one and build a sense of connection. So that's the goal of Yin Yang Tai Chi and the book, uh, the goal of the book that we've written. YinYangTaiChi.org. You can find this information. You can get the book. You can check out the series. I consider it a peace movement, a literal peace movement. Yin Yang Tai Chi. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you lean on. Um, Resolution Thursday. Resolution requires what? What conditions are needed to feel a sense of oneness, to feel a sense of humanity for everyone, right? There's an idea that I'm um, developing where self-awareness is your ability to assess your level of uh, Trump derangement syndrome, right? Can you find humanity for him or for leaders like him? If you can't find humanity for the worst, then how do you strengthen your ability to sustain humanity for anyone else? It's easy to have the humanity for those ones that you love, but to transcend the fight, to transcend the enemy, where you reach the stage where there is no discrimination of the opponent is you. What's the pathway, right? Maybe the enemy is presenting an opportunity to look at yourself, bring you out of your comfort zone into your um, learning zone, and giving you an opportunity to move, breathe, meditate, reflect, repair if needed, and continue to learning in this earth school within these earth suits that we all find ourselves in. So let me know if that speaks to you, and I'll be back tomorrow with Fearless Friday. I don't know. How much more courage can we step into? How much more do we have? So until next time, may your chi flow smoothly, and remember to embrace the woo.